Happy Sunday and welcome to the live stream. This is Joe. I am joining all my participants in the Web Developers Facebook page. Let me just down mix this sound a little bit here. So, why are we doing this? It's we've all got a goal in mind, okay? And they're kind of the same, but they're also a little bit different. Everybody's got their own direction they're taking. And the one thing that is universally applicable is that we all experience the frustration. We all experience the disappointments. We all experience the, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. And it's not really that bad of a thing. Okay. It's just how it's part of the growing process. And when you're growing as a web developer, it's not just in a knowledge base, it's in learning a whole new way to find your drive, to dig through those low points where you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. So I, I don't really know. I'm by no means a web developer genius or an expert in any fashion. In fact, I'm going to be showing you exactly where I'm at. I'm currently taking the online course through Udemy that Colt Steele puts out. I started late last year on his redone boot camp, and it's incredible. I've learned so much in such a short amount of time, and this seems to be the general consensus amongst everybody who's participating. So if you haven't already done it, take a look at Udemy and see what it has to offer. There's a lot there, and when I say a lot, that's no exaggeration. There's a metric ton of information in that course, and you need to prepare yourself because there's going to be a lot of times where you feel like, oh geez, it's just too much, and it's like, go ahead and just reel it back a little bit and step back and figure out where you're at, how far you've come, and take a look at what you have to look forward to. Right now I'm doing Flexbox, which is still in CSS. I'm coming up on that cusp of where I can start looking at JavaScript, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I'm thinking it's probably going to be by the end of the month. I've got another week or so to go, but I want to get into JavaScript by the time February gets here. So that's one of my goals. But anyway, what I'm here to talk about today is to kind of share with everybody that you're not alone on your journey. Okay, everybody has got their their hills and their valleys, and so I've gotten over the fact that it's useless to be disappointed and downtrodden. You just keep pushing forward. You keep finding the motivation. You keep finding the thing that brought you here to begin with. So anyway, I've got a few things here that I wanted to share with you. This is the Code Pioneers YouTube channel, and I don't know this guy. His name's Dion, and he runs Code Pioneers, but he's also developed this lo-fi channel. And I don't know how many of you do this as well, but I watch these lo-fi music channels like this because it really kind of keeps my mind flowing at a steady rate and in a solitary direction that I'm working on, and it helps me move forward. It helps me keep going, and it doesn't allow me to trip myself up by distraction and whatnot. But this is my current favorite, and I actually reached out to Dion just before this via email and told him that I'm going to be boosting his channel because I think that what he's offering here is good stuff. And he doesn't just do the lo-fi thing. He also does, he's a full stack web developer based out of Chicago, and he offers videos that help kind of guide you along your journey. So it's a really well-rounded channel for web developers and just software developers in general. But shout out to you, Dion. This is a great channel. I love what you've done here with working with your animators and whatnot, getting this together. I really enjoy the channel. So this is the oh, there he is. Hey Dion, thanks for shouting out, man. This is I was just boosting you up, dude. This is fantastic. I'm based out of the Midwest too. I was born and raised there, but I'm currently in SoCal, and I recognize these cityscapes. It's fantastic, but I get a lot of value out of your channel. So we've got Dion from Code Pioneers joining us in the live chat. Kind of cool. It's good to reach and see that stuff. So I'm gonna be, if he doesn't mind, I'm gonna be using his music for beginning and ending live streams, and um, because it really kind of goes with how I study during my code journey and how I get my information to stay planted in my head. So um, anyway, go over to Code Pioneers on YouTube. Give this guy a like. Give this guy a sub. I mean, he's blowing it up for all of us aspiring web developers. So anyway, I'm gonna move on a little bit. Here's my YouTube channel. It's Technium Tech. That's the company that I kind of have on my own. It's recently evolved over last year. I had a basically a PC building company for the last 16, 17 years. And I just, when COVID hit, I didn't want to, I didn't want to just let it stagnate, and I knew that it was going to be, business was going to boom. Everybody was going to need computers. And just like I predicted, Best Buy shelves sold out and it was hard to get stuff online. And right now it's nearly impossible to even get parts to build your own system. So anyway, I made this a kind of a full service business. And I started talking about how to create your own business online, how to work from home. Excuse me. And I started really diving into it, but I got distracted with this whole web developer thing. And the way that happened was my wife, she's been wanting to have a little side hustle too. So we got together and started throwing around some ideas. And we decided we wanted to jump into web development. And we've got a whole plan of action laid out. We've got a company name, and we've got all that kind of laid out for us. So we've got a really good plan put forth into motion right now. So right now we're both taking the Udemy course from Colt Steel, and we're also going to be, upon completion of that in April, we start an actual online boot camp, like a real one. It's going to be through an organization called New Camp, and New Camp is kind of revolves around what do you call it? It kind of revolves around the full-time employed person. And my wife and I are both employed full-time, and I think it's going to be the best solution for us because neither one of us know how to code, neither one of us know how to do web development, and this is the perfect opportunity for us to really fine tune and hone those skills so that we can realize our dreams. And that dream is to start our own business. We are both vehemently against having to work for anybody else. We want to dictate our schedule, dictate the way we run our business our way, and we want to really instill into our company how customer service and making sure that the person that we're working with is getting exactly what they want, the way they want it, and they have a quality, solid product. And that's going to be the number one thing we work towards. It seems to be with business and everything amping up and things moving faster online. It seems to be that's the part of the lost art that's a lost art that seems to be part of many new businesses. They're forgetting about the client or the customer, and I want to make that our mainstay, our foundation. So our company is going to be called Warrior Web Development. It's kind of a reflection of who we are as people and as a couple, and because we've fought through a lot of adversity and we've come a long way, and we are kind of using that to show what a strong company we're going to be for the client. I'll show you our logo at the closing scene here. I worked a long time on getting this logo together, but we're very proud of it. Anyway, so as you can see here, there's my live stream on my channel and everything. I would love to have any subs, any likes or whatever. I've got some videos up. They're more based around, what I was doing last year, but I'm going to be reformulating the channel to be more around our web development journey. In fact, I'm going to be producing a very cheesy web show called Meet the Devs. And we're both children of the 80s. So it's it's going to kind of be campy in the intro and stuff like that, but it's going to kind of walk through some of the daily trials and tribulations we have, and the things that we have encountered, both success and both things that we've had to learn lessons from in moving forward with this. And it's something that we thought that people also on this journey could get a lot of value out of. So we're going to make it kind of a funny web series. I'm still kind of getting together the production of that, but time permitting, we're wanting to get like, maybe one episode every few weeks out, and that'll give some people something to laugh at and something to share in the experiences with. So anyway, also here, this is the Web Developers Bootcamp. This is the Facebook page that kind of brought us all together. And I love this thing. I love checking it. I love giving people props and boosting their positivity. And because when I do that, I also get something from it. It's something that I really like to. I like to see those comments where people are saying, "Hey, this is great." I love what you're doing here. You really gave me a positive push and stuff like that. And having, like I had said before, having gone through a lot of adversity and fighting the ups and downs and having a few, failed attempts at a personal business and stuff like that. I know what they're going through, and I kind of brush that bad stuff off now. And, as long as you're pushing positive, you've got nowhere but up to move. And that's what I want everybody, that's watching right now to actually instill in themselves. So, but I want to go over a few things here real quick. Some notes that I made about what brought me here today. Okay, where am I on my journey? Well, like I said, I'm doing the boot camp online. I've actually got it pulled up here. This is where I'm at. This is the current lesson I'm on, doing the Flexbox, direction and justified content sections and whatnot. So, it's sometimes it gets dry, and it usually is when I'm tired because I do work the overnight shift, but I still push forward, and every time I discover something, it like pushes me onto the next session. And next thing I know, a couple of hours have passed and I've really plotted through some good content. So I'm doing that. I mentioned New Camp. We're going to be doing that. That's going to be like 5.5 months, 22 weeks, something like that. But we'll graduate that in mid-September. And our plan is to start taking on clients right around mid-October into November. And we're going to be focusing primarily on small business startups. We encounter a lot of people who have side hack businesses, but they don't know how to expose themselves. They want to get their own thing started. So we're going to use this opportunity as web developers to create and boost their online presence and their online business. So we're going to be working very much grassroots and helping people, realize their potential through web apps and web development. Do I have any clients yet? I'm working on it. What I'm doing is the wife and I are both going to take on a project that we're going to do for free. And this is going to be for one of these startups, one of these single person businesses that are interested in what we're doing. And they are going to, for the sake of not having to pay for it, they're going to work with us over the next year to get this built up the right way so that we can use it as a learning project. And if we don't charge for it, they're only getting it for free. So it kind of works both ways. We're getting the experience of going through the bumps and slides on it. That way, we can kind of do it without having to worry about ruining a business relationship. They understand we're in a learning curve right now, and it's only going to work to everybody's benefit in the end. So that's kind of what we're doing with that. And our goals, I'm going to talk more about our goals here in a little bit, but I'm sure some of you are wondering what I use for my gear. Excuse me. I had been an avid PC builder for years, and I'd always had these big, monstrous, well-lit towers that had all the fancy lights and whatnot. This last year, Apple came out with their new laptops and the new Mac Mini that had their own chip in it, the M1. And I watched it fervently and intently to see what exactly this was going to entail. And I went all in. I already had the iPad. I had the Apple Watch, the iPhone, the AirPod. I had all that crap. drank a lot of apple punch, I admittedly, but I always loved my PC. It was the best gaming rig in the world, but um, I kind of went away from that. And so I'm not doing that anymore. I just don't have time for games. I'd rather spend that time learning how to make the magic happen on the web. And so that's what I focused on. So I went all in and got the absolute bottom rung Mac Mini, 8 gigs, 256 gig hard drive, and I got a little USB hub that looks like it's a stack of the Mac Mini that has USB ports. It's got a card reader for my, video, the little memory cards and stuff. It also has a hard drive bay inside. So that 256 gig hard drive I bought it with that was going to fill up real fast was going to be supplemented by a 2 gig or a 2 terabyte internal hard drive inside that chassis that I added on. And that makes this thing absolutely wonderful. I mean, this thing rips through 4K video like you wouldn't believe. It's a very capable machine. So, if you're wondering about that, so far in my web development coding journey, I've had zero problems with the new Mac. And if you're looking at something like this thing's $700 for this Mac Mini, and it's powerful as heck. I can't emphasize that enough. It's amazing. And I've gone into that and I'm not looking back. In fact, I'm really looking forward to, moving up into the new Mac Pro that's yet to be announced, hopefully this year. But at any rate, yeah, you can pick one of these up and they're not that expensive. The Apple tax is kind of dying. So this could be a great year for Apple. I'm predicting that with strong confidence. Anyway, I just used the the Apple keyboard and trackpad. I mentioned the USB hard drive bay. I've got an Asus 4K monitor that I use as my primary coding monitor. And then that's a 28 inch. And then I have a 27 inch curved HP 1080p screen that I use to watch the videos. So the dual monitor setup is really fantastic. I'll never go away from it again. I had an ultra wide, a 34 inch ultra wide when I tried to do the whole 2 window thing, and it just wasn't the same as having 2 separate screens. So I use Bose Companion 20 speakers. These speakers sound great. I've had them for probably 2 years now, and they sound fantastic. I use headphones a lot. Like I've got the Sony over-the-ear headphones that I use to monitor my audio and stuff. And a lot of times I'm up later, I'm up early working on this stuff, so I've always got the headphones on. So good headphones was important to me. I have the Shure MV51 mic. This has connections for using it on your iPhone, using it on your iPad, or it has a USB connection, so you can just plug it right into your computer. And that's what I'm using right here. It's this thing right here. And there's little settings on it that I can adjust as far as, how much gain I get off of the mic, or it's an all-in-one package. The MV51 from Shure. Get it. I use an iPad Pro 12.9. It's the early 2020, I think is what they're calling it. It's got the better camera on the back, but I've got it with 1 terabyte of storage and LTE, so I have internet everywhere I go. I have learned, this is a question that's going to come up a lot, and I'm sure I'll have extensive conversations with people about this online. But I have learned how to use an app called Textastic that allows me to basically use the iPad for coding. And now that I've gotten the process refined, it works very, very well. And so I can code anywhere, anytime I want. I've got the Magic Keyboard with it, which I'm going to tell you right now, yes, it's expensive and for what it is, but it's a high quality product. It gives you a second USB-C port, and it's got a backlit keyboard and a trackpad. All that stuff together made that keyboard well worth its price. It changed the way I viewed my iPad Pro. So I also use the iPod 2nd Gen for pretty much everything else. It's pretty much most of my gear here. I really simplified what I had. I recently did just get a USB to HDMI cam link because I have a Sony A68 Alpha camera that eventually I want to try to use as my webcam. Right now I've got this Logitech C920 that does a pretty good job. I mean, that's what you're looking at right now. It's working, but I'm going to use that cam link. Anyway, that's most of my gear. Future plans. I did mention the web series Meet the Devs. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. I love editing in Final Cut, and I'm going to have fun with the entries and the exits, and I'm going to throw in some sound effects and stuff like that. Make it real campy and funny, but still, it's going to have some value that you can see, what we get, what we struggle with, what we get hung up on, and how we get through it and stuff like that. But um, we want to grow this business so that we can travel. We want to be able to work full time and travel at the same time. So when I retire in about 5 years, this business is going to be fully established, up and running, and we'll be able to put everything down and go and never have to worry about keeping up with what's happening. As long as we have connection to the internet, we'll be able to run our business. So it's really going to give us the freedom that we've always wanted, and also make us the success that we want as well. That's really important to our future goals and living out the rest of our days happy. So eventually, we've got two children. I got a 21-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old boy, and we would like to pass down the business to them eventually. My daughter's very artistically inclined. She does photography, she does drawing, she's just started into music, and she's going to be a photographer. But I think that if her and her brother got in on this, they could make something pretty fantastic with it. Let me go away from this here. Let's see here. Let's go back to my full cam. Anyway, that's kind of what our future plans are. And, I'm sure that stuff will change, but if you don't set out goals and get them on paper and actually write them down and look at them once in a while, you kind of lose track of where you're going, and you look at where you've been, and you need to make sure that it's congruent with what you're doing. So, anyway, I've got a little bit of advice. I've had a lot of people ask me, how do I keep going on this? Number one, stick to it. Okay. You're going to have days that you're just like, oh, why am I bothering with this? It's taking so long. Am I ever going to get to where I want to go? And you will. And sometimes you have to really celebrate those little things, oh, I got that quiz to work on the webcam, on the boot camp, the web developers boot camp. And I got that web page to look the way I wanted it to. And maybe it's one of these pet projects that you've decided to go ahead and take up, and oh, I got it to look, and I got the picture imported, and now it's got the motion, it's got the animations, and it's working. Celebrate those little things, because those little things are going to be the things that build the big things. Do it daily. This coding and web development thing that you're learning, do it daily. Don't put it down for a week, because then you come back and then, a couple of times I've gone back to the webcam, or the boot camp, and here I'm, oh geez, I don't remember what happened before this, and I've got to go back and look at some of these other lessons, and it's it sucks having to go back and relearn stuff. So stick with it daily. Keep yourself fresh on it, and that's gonna keep you moving forward. Moderate your learning time. Okay, don't sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna plod through this for the next 8 hours. That's not necessarily gonna work. So you're gonna need to kind of moderate that. Get yourself limited to, I'm gonna do a 2-hour block now. Take a break, do another 2-hour block. And during that 2-hour block, that leads me to my next suggestion. That's to use what's called the Pomodoro technique. This is where you do these short, intense bursts of study. You take a 5-minute break. So work 20, 25 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes, come back, do another 20, maybe do that 3 or 4 times, then take, a 15, 20-minute break. And you wouldn't believe how incredibly effective that is. It gets you a long ways. You start retaining more information, and your focus becomes much sharper. Not only that, but you learn to focus a lot faster. You learn to focus better. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Check it out. Set realistic goals for yourself. If you're going to say, I'm going to become a web developer in 6 months, and I'm going to have my own business, I'll be making money, I won't need to work a full-time job. And for most people, that's extremely unrealistic. And, this is going to be a journey, and journeys don't happen overnight. They happen over a period of time. Just maybe give yourself a 6-month goal. Within 6 months, I want to be through a boot camp. I want to have myself self-taught. I want to start looking for jobs within the next 6 months. Give yourself little steps to get to that bigger goal. Because if you bite off more than you can chew, then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, and disappointment leads to people quitting, and you don't want to quit on yourself. This is way too important. Stay active in your web development communities. I check mine on this Facebook page daily. Excuse me, and it's something that if you don't keep up with it, it's going to be you're going to drop in and you're going to see, oh my gosh, this person that I saw 2 weeks ago is now so much farther, and they're talking about stuff I don't even know what they're talking about yet. And seeing that daily, seeing how people progress, encourages you to progress as well. And we all kind of push each other, and we keep throwing positivity to each other. And, the constructive criticism is very constructive there, because nobody wants to tear anybody down. Everybody wants to build up and make everybody better. And it's been the best environment I've seen in a long time that I've ever been a part of. So stay active in your communities. This allows for networking, and you never know when an opportunity is going to present itself here. I mean, you may find, oh wait, I've been wanting to take a class in that particular aspect of coding or web development, and you find it there, and then you check it out, and it's like exactly what you were looking for. So staying active is really important with that. But anyway, I didn't want to belabor this and take too long, but I wanted everybody to know that somebody's out there that is going through the same struggles that they are. And once again, I want to thank Dion from Code Pioneers. Thanks for letting me share your music and your channel. Let's throw it up here again real quick. There he is, my man Dion. Looking good, dude. I love these animations. This is his YouTube channel. Please take a look at it. Give this guy some props. This guy's doing mad progression here. I love this stuff. So anyway, I'm going to try to do this maybe, every so often if people are interested. And unfortunately, I've just realized that I did not record this stream. I'm just learning how to use Streamlabs OBS, and it's I've had to spend the last 2 days trying to get this together like this, so at least it looked, halfway reasonable and not like a hack. So I just realized I didn't hit the record button, and I know that I told a lot of people on the forums that I would record it for future viewing, and I didn't do it. So please forgive me, and I hope you're not too disappointed. But trust me when I say it'll be worth it to go to the next one, because I'm going to make this look a lot better. Hopefully the quality will be better. So at any rate, thanks for joining me. And this has been Joe from the Web Developers Facebook page. Company is TechVM Tech. And pretty soon you're going to see some things change into the Warrior WebWorks Facebook, or not Facebook page, but YouTube channel, and that's where we'll find Meet the Devs. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and we will be seeing you soon.
This one's the perfect gift for the friend who's been getting a little too comfortable during quarantine. Maybe your son,